Good morning, lovely people. Excuse any background noise. At the moment, I'm just taking this opportunity to go with what's going on in environments so that I can make this video, because it's very difficult to find a completely silent time at the moment here. So bear with me on this. Today, it's Wednesday, November the 10th, 2021. It's Blue Rhythmic Monkey Day in the white Worldbridger Wavespell, and we're going through some very intense energy building up to a full moon in Taurus and an eclipse on the 19th of November. So at the moment, I am in an amazing place and going through a very intense time as well, because at this time of year for me, having a Taurus moon with a Scorpio dynamic, this is always a key journey of death and rebirth of my past ancestral patterns. And this is true, of course, for everybody. So where Scorpio is in the chart is really key. And also where Taurus is in the chart. Because this dynamic, this access is about health, it's about having good boundaries, it's about going into the space of being on a cellular level. And of course, this is where emotional freedom technique comes in, around seeing all your ancestral patterns coming in again in order to be healed, to be cleared. And so today we have gone into Aquarius moon at 8 degrees, and this is so powerful. It's of course number 8, the number of Scorpio as well. It's the integrity 8th zodiac process around integration. And so I'm just going to read you degree. The book, the words in it keep changing. Destiny can keep rearranging itself under special and unusual conditions where you have written into the contract ahead of time extravagant allowance for major shifts throughout the course of your lifetime. Ready and able to live several lifetimes in one, you are eager to wipe out the traces of a given cycle and start all over again. In love with change and in desperate need of change, because one side of mind is dogmatically rigid. And so in order to neutralize and outwit your own dry, stuck places, you make sure to generate innovative, radical currents, slowly wearing away the tight self-identity knots and generating freedom by being stuck in old pictures and sealed off the territory and made life predictable and unbearable. And having Scorpio in my 8th and 9th house is very key for me. Having Neptune in Scorpio, which is a generational thing as well, is showing delusions, illusions on the one hand around how we've been conditioned to believe we have to live as human beings. And also the liberation from that when we start to do the healing and release the conditioned mindset. Scorpio being a fixed sign, Taurus being a fixed sign, Aquarius is my rising, fixed sign, Leo, my sun sign, fixed sign. So being very aware of what your signs are can really help you work on a deeper level to uncover mindsets where we are limiting ourselves in some way based on old ancestral code. And on my Red Dragon 52 group this morning, I posted a video from when I was in Mexico at this time, just noticing again that I've been to some amazing places and they have brought such huge breakthroughs. I was also in Ireland at this time as well. And so just notice again your own timeline, what happens for you around this time of year. lots of very deep things have happened to me around this time of year, and specifically beginning my journey with the Zolkin on the 2nd of November in 2011, and now going into my 11th year around that. So that's going to be exciting around what that is going to bring for me. So today, very powerful energies going on. We have 18 degrees of Scorpio Sun today, which when you add those together, that's number 9. That's a gateway that we're stepping through. And we've got a square going on today. So Mercury in Scorpio at 7 degrees, conjoins Mars in Scorpio at 7 degrees, square Saturn at 7 degrees in Aquarius. 7 in the Mayan, the mystic, blue hand shaping our destiny. And with this Aquarius moon of integration at this moment, it's a really, really powerful time to stop and look at your old story, look at how you're still running these ancestral patterns. And going back to February, it was the same dynamic going on there. So if you go back to February, what was happening for you back then? Remember, this 260-day Wavespell is all about looking at our mindsets, coming into the mindset of the goddess, of the sacred feminine, and releasing being scapegoated, for example, releasing, coming down to other people's levels who aren't consciously aware, who are still running an old power imbalance and going against their own natural intuition and health, forgetting who they are. We've all got some of that code going on. So this is a real turning point today. Tomorrow, of course, we've got 11/11. And on 11/11, that's yellow resonant human, which is 19 degrees in Scorpio Sun, and also the moon crosses Jupiter. So we have this powerful time of coming into the new Eon age. And if you check that out with the Thoth cards, Eli Tarot, strikingly.com. I always post his links on here. Check out, this is a new Eon coming in to be emotionally free in terms of, again, this is so many layered thing to look at. But once we start to heal the old stories where we felt we have to be disempowered in whatever way, we have to be harming ourselves, poisoning ourselves, most of the things on the planet that we deem to be treats, special occasions, are based around things that cause human beings harm. They're based on codependent patterns. And so once we start to really wake up and start to do this healing work, these start to drop away. They're survival mechanisms. They've allowed us to stay somewhat sane in doing things that make us very unhappy and don't feel good on a deeper level. And there is no getting away from that. This is getting more and more powerful every day now, and particularly at this time of year, this gateway of Scorpio. This is where we can meet the challenge, have the courage. This is about healing our intimacy issues. This is about healing our survival issues now. So today we've got self-existing moon day 24. And if you don't know your own Mayan moon yet, that stays the same all the time whenever you incarnated. If you go on a decoder and you put in your date of birth, it will show you the Mayan moon number and day. So at the moment we are on Mayan moon number 4, self-existing, red self-existing moon. And today we're on day 24. As a Leo, I was born in magnetic moon because the new cycle begins on the 26th of July every year. And I'm a magnetic moon day 24. So every time it is a moon day 24, it's very significant for me. And I could really feel that today, even though I didn't actually know till I checked the decoder that it was moon day 24. Now, what does that mean? So we've got 28 days in each Mayan moon. There are 13 of them. They begin on the 26th of July every year. Red moon is one of the 4 planetary codes. So on the 26th of July every year, we go into a different planetary code of red moon, white wizard, blue storm, or yellow seed. We're currently in yellow electric seed, which is the 3rd year of a 13-year cycle of white wizard, which began on July 26, 2019. And I just posted a video in my group about this. I was in Mexico in 2018 in White Wizard, and so I knew what I was working with then. It was going to be pivotal to what I was going to be working with in the 13-year cycle. Now, the way that you can use the Mayan coding is you can work out very specific actual times and events that tie in to give you amazing insights around this. You can use this, because this is what it's meant to be used for, to pinpoint exactly what you're going to be working with. And for me, every time a white wave spell comes around, I'm working with white wind, which began when I was 31 and went to when I was 43. So this year, because it's year 3, I'm specifically going to be working with my empowerment codes when I was 33, which again is a master builder number, it's a Christ consciousness number. And so that happened on day 3 of this. I'm just trying to look at my notes here. Day 3, which was the 7th of November. And so if you look back to that, and again, I hadn't registered because, you know, where I am, I'm doing lots of exciting, lovely things. So I hadn't really registered that. And with hindsight, looking back, it's like, okay, so everything that happened on that day was very significant. And me and my partner have been having very deep conversations about this, recognizing the patterns, recognizing what's coming up, the triggers. Remember, triggers are about where we have disassociated, where we haven't dealt with some trauma. They are post-traumatic stress revealers in some way. And so if you check out emotional freedom techniques, if you haven't already, these are still timeline events that are holding us in the past, repeating that story until we clear it. So it's very, very important to do this work if you want to get off the labyrinth, if you want to get off Groundhog Day and you don't want to keep doing these old stories. Okay. On Monday, the 8th of November, we had red self-existing moon. And so this is the moon that we're in. This is very significant when you have a Mayan sign in the moon 28-day period that it's in. So whatever was happening for you on that day, we had a really amazing day here, really, really beautiful. 16 degrees in Scorpio sun on that day, which connects to yellow warrior, of course, the Mayan sign, being on the heart path, being a spiritual warrior. Neptune is, on the one hand, like I said, the old Neptunian delusions and illusions, and using alcohol, for example, things to take the pain away, things to have fun. When you're poisoning yourself, you know, this is why we get hangovers. It's not good, you know. It isn't actually fun, it isn't a treat. It's poisoning us on a cellular level. The moon crossed Venus on that day, and so very powerful. So if you go back to what's happening for you on that day, because that's what you're going to be working with, all the stuff that felt great, connected, free, joyful, in a really good space. Set your heart on fire. Really beautiful energy. That's what we want to be expanding on. Around truth and intimacy. And so this is going to be the year that we're going to be going into next. So this is going to give you a heads up for the future, for July the 26th, 2022. And by that time, we are going to be in the North Node in Taurus. And so again, this whole Wavespell that we're in at the moment, if you look at the day of alchemy, as I mentioned, yellow electric star, this crosses back over to when we were in the yellow star Wavespell, which is the previous 260-day cycle. And that began on the 19th of August for 13 days. So if you think back to what was coming up for you then, that's the final Wavespell in every 260-day cycle. So just think back to what was happening for you then. When we come to this eclipse on the 19th of November in Taurus at 27 degrees, this is going to connect to the Taurus new moon on the 30th of April 2022, which will be at 10 degrees. And so this will be bringing what's going to be manifest in the next 260-day cycle. Okay, so again, this may not make a lot of sense to you right now, but the more that you start to understand about astrology, galactic code, the navigation tools, the divinity process that's happening right now, this can help you relax more and let go, trusting that we're going through a huge dynamic process right now around what we value, what we love. Today, with highlighting the mystical path that we're on, rewriting our narrative, choosing life, affirming ways of living, and letting go of our fears. This is so key. So I'm here on the balcony and I've got a little friend coming in now. I just love it here. There's so many birds. They come right into the apartment. And yeah, it's just, he's gone in now. Little sparrow, they go right in. They're so friendly. It's just so lovely being here. Just having an amazing time and loving this energy. And at the same time, you know, feeling the challenges, going through the process of the human being time as well. So coming up in the next Wavespell, we're going to be going into Sagittarius energy as well later on after this eclipse. And then we're going to be seeing the start of a new story. So keep focusing on yourself. Know that this is, you know, the bridge to a new way of being. We have to let go of old ways and old worlds now. People very much going into their own holograph now, their own trajectory based on their own beliefs. We can't do anything about that. That's free will, free choice. Focusing on ourselves is the key now, so that we can be free of the old story and trust in ourselves. That's the most important thing. Sometimes that's very difficult to do under narcissistic patterning where we're gaslighted, we're scapegoated. We can lose sense of who we are. We can get into the mind fog. All of the strategies that are being deployed at the moment by the dark energy patterns really can amplify this. So it's important to really get into our centre every day, do things out in nature as well as much as we can, remember who we are, work on those triggers in order to release. So we're cutting these old timelines away. By the time we get into Saturday, we should be in a very different space. So it may be challenging over the next couple of days. Tap as much as you can on the triggers coming up. Be present, feel your feelings, let them out in a safe way when you're tapping with yourself, so that you don't do the drama with other people. So lots of love. I hope you have an amazing transformation time, and see you soon.